own breath. Our spiritual journey is guided by the infinite in every moment, no matter that we may forget. Spirit knows, sees, and remembers our perfection. Today, we celebrate our oneness in thought, in word, and in action. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Robert. I'm your practitioner and your spiritual guide for today. As a center, we're reading different parts of the Science of Mind text as outlined in the preface of the text itself. In the past 2 weeks, we've been basically concerned about health appearances, and we've talked about things like constipation, indigestion, nerve trouble, headaches, insanity, fatigue, lung troubles, tumors, gallstones, heart trouble, asthma, fever, blood, skin disorder, and a number of other appearances that seem to affect some people. Not all, but some people. This week was an unusual one for me because it dealt with obstetrics and giving birth. Now, let's face it, that's a stretch even for me. I'm not sure where we're going there. Can you imagine obstetrics? Obstetrics, I'm not even close to that word, let alone being able to say it half the times. What would I know about obstetrics? I've actually never been part of this particular process. In my 35 years relationship with my partner Donald, I inherited 2 teenagers. So I was very, very removed from the birth process. And as a teacher, likewise, I taught adolescents and high school students, so I had nothing to do with that process. So I'm asking myself as I'm reading this, what is it that Spirit is trying to tell me? I'm aware of the healing presence of God. I know that inside of me. I know that Spirit is forever indwelling. I know that healing comes from within. I know that. I feel that. I know the subjective mind, we talked about that last week, may be controlled by the objective mind. I know that by neutralizing or removing that subjective thought that is out there, that we can bring about and eliminate that appearance of whatever it is. I know that thought, the use of universal law, I can co-create and manifest my good. Last Sunday we talked about the subjective mind and what those thoughts can do to a person and where they come from. And I even provided you with a Ernest Holmes cocktail. And that cocktail helped us to keep us in that positive thought, removed from those negative thoughts. And no sooner had I left this premise here, the center, that I was made aware of a situation, the Sikh temple at Oak Creek, Wisconsin. And at first, I reacted with anger. I was frustrated. Hate came into my emotions. I was just filled with negative emotions. How did this happen? Here I am, training to be a minister, trying to keep positive thoughts, keeping those negative things, those negative appearances away from me, and I thought I had done enough healing to do it. After a few moments, I had to take a deep breath, and I realized I needed some understanding for some healing, more healing to take place. And knowing that in this universal subjective mind up here, all thoughts, all possibilities do exist. I'm giving a little quantum physics here for it. Each individual can draw on those possibilities. When we consciously recognize one of those possibilities, whether it's positive or negative, we bring that into our appearance. We can manifest that. That's the law. That's how it works. That manifestation becomes an appearance for everybody, no matter where they are, another non-locality from quantum physics. So I choose to recognize these things as appearances, and I turn away from the negative conditions and move through the conditions. I go back to first cause. I go back to Spirit, and I think of the absolute, where energy goes into compassion, into power, and it exists without any limitations. Therefore, I can think whatever I want to do. So I choose not to be angry. I choose not to hate. I choose not to be frustrated, not to go into depression, but to come into a place from compassion, and this brings more healing into my life. So how are these two events, obstetrics on this one hand, and this appearance at the Sikh temple, how are they related? Ernest Holmes says, "We are at choice every moment. We cannot live a choice-less life. It is impossible. Every day, every minute, every second, there is a choice. If it weren't, we wouldn't be individuals. But there is a difference between choosing and outlining. We choose what we want, but we trust the law to determine how our choice is to come about. We are on the planning committee, but we are not on the Ways and Means committee. In our choices, we co-create with Spirit to be compassionate, to live in joy, to refuse to live in distrust, hate, and anger. So as I see it, once we have healed our lives, we can move on and co-create with Spirit to bring about that healing for others. So let's do some work here. Make yourselves comfortable, please. How good it is to know that regardless of our color, our race, our creed, we are all members of the human race, citizens of the world, living and breathing a God of many names, but knowing we are all one. And in this oneness, we join in a deep, deep knowing that all is good in the world, in our lives, and in our communities. The Sikhs have a saying, Vahi Guru, God is good, God is good. And it's in this knowing, I know perfect God, perfect health, perfect peace, perfect you, perfect me. And I am grateful. Grateful to each and every person that is here to attest to that faith and belief. Grateful for knowing that Spirit is surrounding all those who are unable to be here, regardless of what their reason is, that reason only being known to Spirit. We are grateful for all those that make this service in this Center for Spiritual Living Palm Springs a place to live out our spirituality. And we are grateful for this teaching that keeps us in the flow of life, in harmony, in balance, in affirming healing, and co-creating new exciting experiences. And let us move into a moment of silence. Let us send our blessings to all humanity, seeking the peace found in the global heart vision. And as we bring this to a conclusion, we open ourselves to the co-creation with Spirit. That co-creation is flowing through each and every single one of us. We open ourselves up to the abundance, beauty, love, joy, peace, power, wisdom, and wholeness that is rightfully ours. Right here and right now, we accept Spirit's vibration at the highest level in every action, function, cell, and organ of our bodies and our lives. We do not choose to lend our thoughts to appearances or conversations around anything other than the highest truth and that vibration of love. For we are grateful to know that God is our source and our supply. We allow God in me, through me, as me, to be unconditional, loving presence. If you agree with it, please join me in affirming, and so it is. So bring yourself back to this room as we continue with our service.